Today I'm going to give you guys 3 ways. I've got a structure on how to beat shit tests and how to overcome them and how to return serve. It's a very simple structure that after thinking about it, I actually do have a structure and I didn't realize that I've been using this for a very long time. And also I'm going to explain what a shit test is. But before we kick it off, I'm Dave and this channel is dedicated to giving you no bullshit, novel dating advice for the modern man. My book's in the description, and also you can get some one-on-one coaching with me online anywhere in the world by filling out the form, and we can get on with some online coaching. So firstly, let's define a shit test. So why do women shit test men? Firstly, you have a mate value. You have a value in the world, and by just observing you, by looking at you, she will make an assumption of what your mate value is, and she will put you in a box of mate value, and she will know her own mate value, and she will figure out, okay, well, my mate value is here, this is his here, is he above me or below me? If she deems that you are above her mate value, you will not get any shit tests. And well, if that is the type of girl that you're going for, girls that are beneath your mate value, well, a bit of coaching with me will turn you into an absolute demon. But generally, guys that need advice about dating, they're aiming for girls on their mate value level, or they're aiming to get way better girls that are way above their mate value, and that's what I do, and that's what makes me a coach. So if you are meeting and going out with girls that are way above your mate value, they tend to give you shit tests. If you're on the level, they're less likely to. If you're above their mate value level, they're more likely to just be submissive and become very feminine. But if you seem to be below them, they're more likely to challenge you and give you more shit tests. And if you are getting shit tests, that means that you are playing the game. That means that you are with a girl that is above your level and she believes that she is of more value than you are. That means that you are in the game and that you possibly have game already. And if you are getting into the turbulence of shit tests and you're failing, and the girls that shit test you and give you a lot of trouble, you don't actually end up dating or taking home, that means you're not passing them, obviously, right? So myself, I get a lot of shit tests all the time because I'm a 40-year-old guy that would prefer to date girls younger than me. And that doesn't mean that I only coach older guys. If you're a 21-year-old guy and you're not getting any shit tests and the girls are generally below you, that means you're not getting any game. That means you're not targeting the type of girls that you could be getting with some coaching by me, and that's why I recommend that you get some coaching with me. Even if you're a 21 to 25-year-old good-looking guy, I bet there's some problems with your game. So how do you pass shit tests? Number one, which is the most obvious, I dare say it's the most obvious, is don't self-censor. Now, you're out on a date with a girl who is way above your mate value. She's like, bam, hot, bam, 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 and you're so nervous, right? So you tend to just say things that won't offend her, and you say boring things, and you don't really challenge her back, and then every now and then she will have a go at you. She will say things that are like, oh, doesn't seem like you can afford this, or oh, your car's not very nice, or you seem a little bit boring. What do you do for work? Oh, that's pretty boring too. I think, that's a pretty average job. Don't you have any friends? She'll start poking around all the time at all different things, and if you're not standing up for yourself, well, you're going to lose, and she's going to be totally disinterested in you, and that means you're not passing the shit tests because you're censoring and you're afraid to challenge her back. Be willing to challenge her back. Be willing to take her on. So if she says something like, oh, your car looks like it's 20 years old and it's, you know, it's something my little brother would drive, you need to be willing to stand up for yourself and take her on. And that's what she wants. She wants an answer. She wants you to justify why you have that car. She wants you to justify your ugly friend who just met you two while you're out on a date. She goes, your friends are weird. She wants you to explain it and challenge her back and say, you know, like, have a go at her and address what she is addressing in the moment. Don't self-censor, because when you do that, it's like a propaganda war. Silence is an admission of guilt, and that's what you're doing. When she mentions your friends are weird, your job sucks, your car is too old, you are boring, you don't stand up for yourself, and then you don't stand up for yourself, what she's building a case why she should not sleep with you or date you, and you're not addressing the problem. You think that just being a nice guy is going to work out for you. Well, it's not. So one is, don't self-censor, take her on, challenge her back, stand your damn ground, okay? 2, absurdity. 2 is absurdity. So there's the usual little circle of normality when you're having a conversation with someone. If you can step outside that every now and then and say things that are so absurd and over-exaggerate things, and you're willing to not self-censor and say things that are outrageous, she's more likely to see you as the type of guy who's more likely to be comfortable with her. It projects that you're comfortable with her. But if she tests you on something, or you know, your car's really old or something like that, you know, and you say, look, oh yeah, it converts, you know, I don't know, you make up some random thing in the moment. It's hard to innovate talking to a camera, but if you can say absurd things and over-exaggerate things. So what I often get, the last one that I had to pass was a couple nights ago, where a girl said, you don't look 28. I'm not 28. But I said, well, maybe my charisma makes up for my extreme ugliness. You know, like just over-exaggerated, and just, you know, she says that you're old or unattractive. You just say, oh, you know, exaggerate. You know, she thinks you're the elephant man, you're this ugly guy with massive things going off your head, and you just over-exaggerate it. And then what did she say to me straight after? She goes, oh, well, if you were that unattractive, I wouldn't be talking to you. And it forces her to pull the conversation back in when you just over-exaggerate and polarize her shit test to an extreme where it makes her look bad. You see what I mean? So you just go to the absurdity level, where she will tend to feel like she's being rude and she's insulting you, and it is so way past what she should have been saying in the first place that she wheels it back. And there's an underlining message under there, is that you can walk away at any moment. You don't care. So you are happy to go to the absurdity level and make her look bad and walk away because she's rude and she's going way over the top. And then she wheels it back, and then she might even give you a compliment. Third is the return shit test. Now this is a good one. So for instance, when you get, when they test you and they say, okay, for instance, I mentioned it before, it's just off the top of my head, your friends are weird. You hang out with nerds. Just as an example, right? And she will say that, say, early in the date, and then maybe an hour later you bump into one of her friends, and while her friends are there, you whisper in their ear and say, your friends are weird. That's the return shit test. So when she shit tests you, you remember it. You keep it in the bank. You hold it there, and you look for an opportunity to return fire at her, so that whatever she's attacked you with, you attack her back later on. It shows a few things. It's an inside joke. obviously, because you guys are in the date together. It's an inside joke, only you two guys know about it. It also shows that, hang on, well, maybe you guys have more in common than she's aware of, because, well, if my friends are weird and your friends are weird, well, we're kind of on the same level. She's pushing you down. She's letting you know that your mate value is lower than hers, and you're like, well, no, your friends are weird too. So what else you got to say? You know, this is love is a battleground, guys. It's a battleground out there. So get used to the battle and enjoy the battle. So firstly, don't self-censor. Be willing to challenge back. Take them on and stand your ground, and don't take any shit from anybody. 2, when the shit tests hit, you know, make sure go to the extreme absurdity level, so that they sound like they're a real total bitch for saying it to you. And they wind it back, and in fact they might give you a compliment, like what happened to me a couple of days ago. And 3, when a shit test lands and it hits, and sometimes you can't beat them all back. If you get hit with a shit test and you don't have a good answer for it, keep it in the bank. Remember it and think, okay, well, later on in the day, I got to get her back with this shit test. Revenge is coming. And that will also build rapport. It will build a us versus them mentality. We together, you know, we got these little inside jokes. And from her pushing you down and telling you that she's better than you, boom, it brings you back up to her level. So this is a structure that I've had for a very long time, and it took me a while to think about this and think, okay, well, what was my structure? And I guess that's because I've been doing a bit of coaching recently, and I've been forced to actually think about my structure and how I overcome shit tests. So if that made sense to you, click the subscribe button. And if you want some one-on-one coaching with me, I've been doing this for quite a while. Only just started coaching though. You can fill out the form and get some coaching with me one-on-one, or do a boot camp, of course. And well, anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.